Now let's look at the benefits of having an integrated set of systems. One we've already talked about is you will reduce costs, which means it will increase revenue. Again, you will be able to be customer focused, better serve the customer, which will lead to growth and ability to maintain and gain new customers. If you are a small company with an integrated system, you are able to have the same benefits that large organizations used to have. Streamlining your business operations. Remember that integrated systems, something like ERP systems, have best practices. So now you are able to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of your business processes, reduce the cost, gain a lot of the advantages that large organizations used to only have. With an integrated system, you have better visibility of the information. Usually it would be all the information is in a central database, so you can easily see any changes that occur in real time. You have increased standardization. We said that one process runs throughout the organization. So you don't have the case where a particular department or a particular unit is doing very well where the other units are not doing well. The business process runs the same throughout the organization, whether you are a multinational or a small organization. However, these benefits do not come without cost. You have some costs associated with system integration. One is integrating at the beginning or buying an integrated system requires a lot of investment, so there will be a high initial setup cost. You have to understand now you are sharing your information with other departments, so which means you have to give up power, and you will have to depend on other departments to give you information in order to finish your business processes. You do not own the information. You are not the sole owner of the information that you create. You have to share it, and you have to also depend on information from other departments, which create power and interdepartmental conflict. Anyone who have worked in organization can see that people who own the information tend to safeguard it. They don't want to share it, and it becomes a real problem for the organization. So now, if that ownership is out of their hand and the information now reside within the system, and the system determine who get access to what, definitely you will have a loss of power from some of the employees, especially middle managers. Now, the return on investment, it takes several years for organization to be able to recoup and be able to achieve the benefits and the promises of integrated systems. So, and in one of the papers that we will read, Mastering the Enterprise System, it actually says it takes around 5 years to be able to regain and actualize the benefits of integrated systems. So it is not something that you will be able to see in a short term. We talked about standardization. We said that processes are standardized throughout the organization. So a lot of people are concerned, will that throttle innovation? Will that put a limit on creativity? Because now you have one way of solving the problem or supporting the business process. People are no longer thinking of a different way or an improved way. They just take whatever is in the system and applies it. Or, let it run. Because we said a lot of things are automated. So you don't have any reflection on the process anymore. And again, people who may have better ideas of running the business process may not suggest these new ideas. So, one more review of ERP systems. We said these are integrated cross-functional systems. They consist of multiple modules to support the different functional areas. They are pre-packaged, standardized solutions designed to support the different business functions across an organization. Another definition may be that they are commercial software, which means pre-packaged or standardized. And they support the business process. In supporting the business process, they collect information, they integrate information across the various areas within the organization. Same thing again. So they are integrated, they are commercial software, they standardize the business process. You have one way of doing the process and it is implemented throughout the organization. People may say, okay, why do we have to accept that one way, that standard business process? The answer is that it is based on best practices within the industry. SAP, when it created the selling or the purchasing process, they based it on what's the best way of doing it, of running that particular process. So they identified the best way, most effective, most efficient way, and that's the one that is embedded within the software. So how does ERP help integration? Well, first we said they support a business process. So they are not focused really on the functional areas, they are more focused on finishing the process, supporting the process from start to finish. Whatever business processes they support, they are pre-packaged, they are already built in, they are standardized. And those of you who have experience with SAP, you will find that they have solutions for different industries. So oil and gas may have one way of or one version of the business process that is a bit different from healthcare. Of course it is, which is also different. So in terms of selling, for example, selling services, in oil and gas, this is different from selling services in healthcare or in automotive. So every industry will have its own different process, and that's why SAP creates solutions for each industry. The solutions are based on best practices. So when we looked at fulfillment, for example, we looked at how the order is entered and how it's routed from sales to inventory to shipping to accounting. All these different parties need to communicate together in order to effectively conduct the business process. So now, what are the implications for businesses? Looking at the different organizational structures and the different IT architecture, we know silos do not work. They do not allow us to share information. They create boundaries along the functional areas which cause people to focus on the improvement and the efficiency and effectiveness of a functional area rather than the business process, which cause the whole organization to suffer. Getting integration across the functional areas and across the information systems will have a lot of benefit to the organization. One is allowing effective decision making to come into process, and that's because you have a better view of the information, that the decision that you are making is based on information from multiple areas within the organization. You are also empowering employees. We said a lot of employees will have access to information that they did not have before. They had to go through their managers before to get access to the information. Now they have access to it directly. Empowering them with that information enable them to make better decisions again. They have better visibility of the client at the enterprise level. So from an accounting perspective, from a sales perspective, you have information from the profile of the customer. You have full information about the client, which means you are more customer focused. But the integration also comes with a lot of challenges. One is that some of your hardware or software may be old. You may have legacy systems. You may have a whole old hardware, and some are new, and you need to bring these two together. We talked about for the software, you use a middleware. Now, again, to come up with a good integration policy, if you do not have enough expertise in that area, you will have to hire IT consultants to help you. We talked about with the integration, there will be a lot of information sharing, which means people may be losing power and control over their information. And they will have to understand that they have to depend on others as well as share their own information. So there might be resistance because of that. The system comes with a lot of automation. So you will have to redefine the roles of some people, or you may have to lay off people if they cannot be retrained to do something else. There are also ethical concerns with system integration. We said now employees have access to a lot of information. If organizations are not closely looking at what each individual needs to have access to, they may end up with people having too much access to information. And they may put the organization, may compromise security of the organization. Why? Because they may take that information, give it to someone else outside the organization. So illegal access to information might be a big problem. And the solution around that is that you have to define security measures. Take the time to understand what exactly does each employee need, and then safeguard that information. So, and safeguarding can be done through software and hardware. The firewalls can be both hardware and software. You also have to spend time educating people and training them about ethics and how to ethically use IT and IT resources. That's all for this chapter. So we've talked about the the organizational structure and the evolution of these, and how the organizational structure affected the IT architecture, and how the need for integration led to the rise of networking and the integration of systems. We talked about the benefits and challenges of system integration, and we also talked about the steps that we have to follow in order to integrate, and the challenges that face us when integrating. Thank you all for listening.